Welcome back to another episode of the Insta Jungle podcast. My name is Jasmin Bell, and I'm your host for today's episode. Now, I've got a special co-host in the studio with me today. I'll let him introduce himself.
I'm Greg Spencer. I'm the director of AeroVision for Broken Arrow Public Schools. I'm filling in for Dan Hawk today, and Jasmin asked me to be on here. Actually, she didn't. I volunteered.
Exactly.
Because who else do you think of when you talk about Miss Rooster Days but me? Right?
Exactly. Alongside Mr. Spencer, I have a few special guests. I'll let them introduce themselves as well.
So my name is Sloan Beese. I'm our 2023 Miss Rooster Days, but you guys might know me on campus as just Sloan. I'm our current junior class president. I'm also our varsity manager of the Tigers, and then I'm our U City Council mayor as well.
Very nice.
And I'm Jamie Wheeler. I work at AVB Bank in our Treasury Management Department, but I also serve as this year's chair for the Miss Rooster Days pageant.
Well, we have you guys in the studio today to take a deep dive into what Miss Rooster Days entails. I mean, like the pageant itself, all the opportunities that it provides. For those that don't know, I actually had a pass with Miss Rooster Days. I was the previous title holder, and I was so elated to hand over the crown to Miss Sloan Beese. And so today we're just here to talk a little bit about Miss Rooster Days. I want to start off with, for those that don't know, what is Miss Rooster Days and what does she do?
So Miss Rooster Days is a pageant, like competition type thing. You get to go to groundbreakings and ribbon cuttings and the Rooster Days Festival, of course. And you get to wear a fancy crown and a fancy sash.
Yes.
And it's just super fun. It's a scholarship pageant, so you get the opportunity to win money for college or any future endeavors that you want to go on, which is really special.
Very cool. So why did you guys decide to participate in this? First of all, are you a former Miss Rooster Days yourself?
No. I've always loved pageants, and then, loving supporting our community. This is just a fun way to get tied in and support the local leadership.
And Sloan, why did you decide to be a participant?
I decided to be a participant because, unfortunately, college is so expensive nowadays, and that scholarship pageant is just so incredible. It's a $4,000 scholarship, and this year they've added a $500 essay opportunity as well, so you can win up to $4,500 through this, which is so impactful in going to college. And I also really wanted to get more tied into our community, and this is just an incredible way to do that and to grow.
And Jasmin, I've seen firsthand all the things that you were involved in and how busy that kept you. What made you want to be a part of it?
I know for myself, Miss Rooster Days, I've been doing pageants since I was 7 years old. So I have pictures going way back. But I felt like it was an amazing opportunity for me to take a deep dive into what Broken Arrow could really provide for me, getting ready to send me out into the world to really pursue my dreams in being a journalist and whatnot. And so the connections I was able to make through the Chamber of Commerce, being connected to the central line of businesses, was just phenomenal.
Awesome. So tell me a little bit about how long have you been Miss Rooster Days so far, and what has your experience been like?
So I've been Miss Rooster Days for about 11 months now, and so day to day, it's just kind of, I wake up, get ready for school, awesome sauce, and then I get to go to class, and normally our ribbon cuttings are around 11:30, so I go during lunch normally, so I don't miss as much class as you might think. Sometimes I do have ribbon cuttings around 4:30, sometimes in the afternoon, it just depends. And then I get to do any after-school activities I really would like. I'm a varsity Tigers manager, like I said. I'm in U City Council. I'm an NHS officer. I still get these opportunities, and it doesn't take away as much as you might think, but it is still a lot.
I hear you. I know for me, in my personal experience, it was a struggle at first balancing all the things that I was really taking a deep dive into, pursuing, for example, sports and whatnot. And like you said, you're a varsity Tigers manager. How do you balance and how do you keep everything weighed out where your priorities are still straight?
I think you do have to assess what your priorities are and what you want to accomplish as Miss Rooster Days and in school. And I know my grades are something that I really wanted to prioritize, but so you really have to work on that time management skill and really have to make sure okay, I do need to go to this ribbon cutting today, but maybe I can't hang out with my friends later because I need to finish my homework. So you really have to take that upon yourself and make sure you know what's important to you through all of this.
Do you have a full-time job as well, or are you part-time or anything like that?
I do have a part-time job. I get to teach little kids dance, musical theater for ages 4 to 6, which is super fun.
Where's that at if you want to give them a plug?
I would love to give them a plug. Theater arts, I teach on Wednesday nights.
Love it. That's awesome.
I grew up there, and so it's super cool. It's my first job, So
Miss Jamie, could you tell us just a little bit about what position you hold over at the Chamber?
Well, I don't hold any position at the Chamber. I just love supporting the Chamber. The Chamber is such a good partner with local businesses in the community, which working for a local community bank, it's that partnership that just it's great to be a part of it. So, community involvement, community support, that's the big piece of it, and that's what's fun for me. And then this pageant has always been super important to me. I mean, this is a pageant that's been around since the 50s. So the tradition is really rich in our community for this, and seeing all the cool changes that have happened with each year and each title and each person's personality. It's just so fun to see the growth of each individual that comes through and wins the pageant.
Yeah, Rooster Days is a big deal in Broken Arrow. I can remember, growing up in the 80s and early 90s as a kid and going to it, so it was always a good time. What has been your favorite part about it so far?
My favorite part definitely has to be watching our community grow. I get to go to ribbon cuttings and groundbreakings week in and week out, and I get to see our city developing, honestly, and I think it's so cool because before I was Miss Rooster Days, I never really understood how much our city can grow in just a short week. And now I get to go to groundbreakings and I get to speak at ribbon cuttings and talk to these business owners and ask them why they chose Broken Arrow and see how much of a light our city is for them and how incredible that our community is in helping support them. So
well, and we had Michael Spurgeon on Core Values this week. That episode will come out as the city manager for those of you that don't know, but he was talking about how the most recent census said that Broken Arrow is officially over 120,000 in population.
That's awesome.
Wow.
And when you think about some of the things that are coming to BA soon, most specifically the amphitheater that we talked about on the podcast, I mean, I could see us hitting 150 in 5 to 10 years.
Yes.
I think the city's just going to continue to grow and grow, and so it's about a balance. We want to continue to feel like a small town in a way, but continue to grow and prosper.
Exactly. I know for myself, one of the questions I was asked during the pageant was, if for someone who doesn't know a lot about Broken Arrow, how would you describe it? And the first word I used was family. I feel like in a sense, because we are growing in population, we're still working hard to keep it a small family, core value system in a sense. I know I talked a little bit about Main Street and how all the business owners are just so welcoming and just want to get to know you better beyond what they can get from you wanting to pour back into you, if that makes sense. Yes. And so for you, what would be a favorite part about being a part of the Miss Rooster Days organization?
I think it's seeing the experiences that the winner gets to have. I mean, the opportunities of the people she gets to meet, the city officials, the business leaders, all the community extras that she's interested in meeting, we make sure those opportunities happen. And I think Sloan can give you the example of this year of what she wants to do with her career and what we did for her to introduce her to that path.
Yes. So for my career, I would love to go into sports management and specifically into the NHL and hockey. And our local hockey team, the Tulsa Oilers, actually joined the Broken Arrow Chamber of Commerce.
That's amazing.
And so I've been able to set up internships with them, and we're working on having a Broken Arrow Chamber night at a hockey game. And so just that opportunity to know that they are so encouraging and they want me to pursue my dreams and help me meet those goals that I have is just so incredible to be surrounded by so many amazing people like that.
You said earlier, it's just an amazing experience to just be surrounded by adults that are pushing you forward, to really want you to succeed in all avenues. I know for me, just being a part of the Chamber of Commerce, it connected me with so many phenomenal business owners that now have launched me into being able to be connected to different news networks, preparing me for my future as well. So that's amazing.
Well, I think you kind of answered this last question that we had here, is how does it set up future opportunities for your career? It sounds like it's doing that.
Yeah, it introduces you to so many people in so many different avenues, whether you want to be a banker or you want to work in different job opportunities. It's so incredible what it does. It's just whatever you want to do, they will find a way to make it happen for you. They will work hard day in and day out to find you this opportunity and say, hey, we found this. Would you like to do it? Of course I would.
Exactly.
Because you put in so much time and effort into that. I would love to make that happen.
I know for me, the first meeting we had with Jamie and Lori and Nicole, I remember they asked me, what do I want to do or who's somebody I wanted to meet? I was like, I want to meet the mayor. They'll be like, she'll be everywhere, so you'll meet her a lot. So I just remember they were very effective in reaching out and asking, hey, do you have interest in this? Or different luncheons and just different opportunities overall. So yes, this is going to wrap up the very first segment of the Into the Jungle podcast. We're getting ready to send it off to a break. When we come back, we're diving into what the pageant entails and how you can get involved. We'll be back here in just a second.
Tulsa Bone and Joint, Northeast Oklahoma's sports medicine experts. We are pleased to help you and the athletes in your life with a number of surgical and non-surgical options. Tulsa Bone and Joint is proud to serve as team orthopedist for local high schools such as Broken Arrow, Owasso, Sapulpa, Cascia Hall and Bishop Kelly. We're also proud to be team orthopedist for FC Tulsa. Tulsa Bone and Joint, moving life forward.
Welcome back to the Into the Jungle podcast. My name is Jasmin Bell. I'm joined alongside Greg Spencer, Sloan Beese in the studio with me today. We have made a little bit of a swap. We have a new guest. I'll let her introduce herself.
Hey, friend. I'm Nicole Smith. I own 1-800-WATER DAMAGE with my husband here in BA, and I serve alongside Jamie with the Miss Rooster Days pageant.
Well, I've had a pass with Miss Nicole Smith. Actually, we were very involved with one another, especially when it comes to being a part of the Broken Arrow Chamber. You were one of my mentors when it came to being Miss Rooster Days, and so I'm so excited to have you here with us today. So, Nicole, how long have you been a part of the Chamber of Commerce or being partnered with your 1-800-WATER DAMAGE company?
So I think our business has been involved with the Chamber for about 5 years now, and then Jamie pulled me in with Miss Rooster Days maybe 3 years ago. I believe so. That was the year we had Annie. Mm-hmm. And it's not something I can drop. It's become a passion. As Jamie said, it's definitely my favorite thing that the Chamber has to offer. Just future leadership, what we can see with you girls that are coming up through the ranks. It's just perfect.
Now, I do have to ask, how do you feel being partnered with the Broken Arrow Chamber has pushed your business in different aspects that you may not have had that opportunity if you didn't partner?
Well, so I own a business that we had to purchase a territory, and Broken Arrow is the heart of that territory. So it's really been 100% of the success that we've seen has been from Broken Arrow and through the chamber, and just getting to meet the people and the business owners in town. It's truly like a family. Businesses supporting businesses is really what the chamber stands for.
I love it.
Yes. So that's
are
what
you
we're
guys
all here
BA
for.
graduates, or where are you from originally?
I am from Texas. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Oh, no.
But Miss Jamie is definitely an alumni. My husband would not appreciate me saying this, but he is a Nathan Hale grad. So.
Oh Lord, BA's the best, guys. I might be biased, right?
Go Tigers.
That's awesome. Well, if you could disclose a little bit about what the pageant entails from registration all the way down to actually being crowned.
So it's so fun. I know it seems like a lot and it's a lot of pressure, but it's really not. Take a step back and just relax through the process. There is an application. This year we're changing things up a little bit with a pre-meeting with parents and the girls before the application's due. So any questions can be answered then. I believe that's on the 18th, February 18th at 2 o'clock. It's at the Chamber on Main Street. The application is just get to know you questions. We want to know you. We want to know your heart. We want to know who the person is that's applying. And then this year we have an essay option as well, and that is open to any of the girls that are within the pageant. It's not just the winner. Mm-hmm. So you have an opportunity to walk away with a prize, and maybe not win the pageant. Maybe your strong suit's not to stand on stage and do a live interview. Maybe you want to show your heart through that essay, and we really want to see all of those girls.
That's amazing. I know for the experience I had with preparing for the Miss Rooster Days pageant, I actually interviewed the previous Miss Rooster Days before me, which was Annie. And Jamie,
Annie.
Nicole, you guys did a phenomenal job convincing me that I should register for a pageant like a week before. And so after I got registered, I remember just running to the pageant dress store, just trying to find the perfect dress.
I think apps were due like the next day.
Literally like the next day, or it was crazy. But I remember just you guys telling me like, breathe, like if it's for you, it's for you. Like you've got it. Like they were like, literally just do it. And just making that decision was amazing. How was your experience just competing?
Competing, I would say you're surrounded by so many girls that just want to see you win and are supporting you through every aspect of it, because I think this was my first pageant I've ever done in my whole entire life. And so I think there's this bias that these girls are going to be like cutthroat and rude and mean, but they're just so supportive, and they're clapping for you when you do your onstage question, and when you're in your fancy dress and you walk out there like, oh my goodness, you look so beautiful. Yes. And they're so supportive. And so I think that was one of the best parts of this pageant. And I think also after I had won, I had some friends and family that were there, and just getting to hug them.
Yes.
And, you know, after I won, my mom stood up and said, "That's my baby." And so seeing her like there and standing up and my friends all there, And just like I cried after I won. I was a big ballin' baby.
I was gonna say one of my favorite pictures from that night was when you were like bawling, and I'm like wiping your tears. I'm like, sister, we gotta get it together for a second. But I do know what you're talking about. I feel like there is a stereotype when it comes to pageants and just the community. And I would say everything that you think about pageants that's negative, Miss Rooster Days is the complete opposite. The complete opposite. The community is just amazing.
Yeah.
So obviously we're talking about this pageant, which must mean that it's probably coming up pretty close that people need to get in deadlines and things like that. So why don't you guys talk a little bit about the registration process, when it's going to be coming up, and when the deadlines are?
So the parent guardian meeting, as we said, is at 2 o'clock on February the 18th. Applications are due February the 20th. So you get a little 2-day window after that to decide. And then the pageant itself will be on Thursday, February 29th. You'll have a private interview that starts about at 5 o'clock. And then the pageant itself with like the onstage question and the introduction will start at 7.
How do you get registered for the pageant?
So there's a QR code that I think we're going to put on here
We can put
for
it
everybody
right
to
there.
see.
On the
Yes.
screen, yes.
Anybody can scan that QR code. It'll take you directly to the link. Or you can just go to the Broken Arrow Chamber page. You just Google Broken Arrow Chamber. You can find us under the events. You'll be able to find it.
Can they just show up at the chamber and bother Scott at the front desk?
We love Scott.
Love that.
It's incredible.
Yeah. But also with that, there's going to be, I think you mentioned the private interview, and I know that kind of intimidates a few girls, but these judges that we pick, man, they're fun. They make this fun. It's very laid back. And you'll also have an opportunity. Sloan and I did this last year, a couple days prior to the pageant. You'll have an opportunity if you want to do private interview coaching with one of us. I believe it's going to be me again this year. I want to believe that helped.
No, it was. Especially with it being my first pageant, I was a little nervous because I had never done anything like a private interview or an onstage question and things like that. And going to Nicole, she really encouraged me. And she made it like sound a little bit easier than some might think. But these judges, like she said, are incredible. The private interview was probably my favorite part of the whole thing.
Yes.
Just because in that private interview, you just kind of get to like brag on yourself a little bit, but you get to just explain who you are to these judges because they pick those questions based off of your application, and they're very personal to you, and the judges want to get to know you. They are rooting for you. They want to see you succeed, and so I think that that's something that's really special.
Do you have any tips for anybody that may be watching this and might be on the fence about whether or not they should get involved?
Do it. That's my one thing. Do it, please. Yes. It's so incredible. I know it's nerve-wracking, at least in the beginning, but once you do it and you take that step forward, it's so much fun, and you're surrounded by so many supportive people, and it's a lot easier than you might think in the first place because you just get to just have fun with it. Like, it's not pressure or anything, it feels like.
And I think the people that are involved in this pageant want to see these girls succeed. So even if you don't walk away with the crown, I'm still connected to so many of our girls. I mean, and to go back to Annie, I mean, yes, she won that pageant, but it was because of who I saw in that pageant that she ended up coming to work for us the day she graduated. So she was on our team, and that kind of launched her career. She wanted to see what life was like owning a business. I didn't hire her to think she would stay with me forever. I wanted her to go out and start her own thing.
Yeah, to mentor her in that process.
And that there's so many girls from last year that I feel that way about. I mean, you really get to see these girls, and so it's just being a part of the pageant is the start of your future.
Yes.
Well, let's go to one more commercial break, and then we're going to bring Jamie back on to sit with you guys. And you guys got some mini games. I'm going to get out of the way and let you guys have some fun without me. So you're watching Into the Jungle, and we'll be right back.
Taziki's Mediterranean Cafe is serving up fresh and healthy Mediterranean favorites like lamb gyros, scratch-made hummus, baklava, and more. Our salmon feast is a delicious and filling entree with none of the guilt. With over 100 menu items, Taziki's has something for all tastes. Elevate your catering experience with Taziki's signature dips and pita, boxed lunches, or any of our full-service catering options. Perfect for a boardroom or a baby shower. Taziki's is locally owned and operated.
Welcome back to the Into the Jungle podcast. My name is Jasmin Bell. I'm in the studio with some special guests, and we're talking about all things Miss Rooster Days. Now, in this segment, we're here to just get to know you guys outside of your roles. And so we're going to play a fun game I like to call who are you? And so within this segment, I'm asking rapid fire, so that means it's speedy, rapid fire questions just to get to know you guys a little bit better. Some of them are fun. Some of them are just genuinely just curiosity. And so we'll get started. I'm going to start a timer. We have 60 seconds. It's going to go clockwise. We're going all the way around. And so are you guys ready?
Yes.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Where's the most beautiful place you've ever seen?
Emerald Lake at Rocky Mountain National Park.
Sloan.
Any place I've ever seen an Oklahoma sunset.
Okay.
I love all the water views along the coast.
I love it. I love it. What's your favorite kind of weather?
Oh, y'all aren't gonna like me, but I love this winter.
Oh,
Love
okay.
it.
I love like a nice sunny 60 degrees.
Okay.
Summer, bring on the hot.
Okay. Coffee or tea?
Oh, coffee.
Coffee. Okay.
Coffee.
Easy one. Me too. Okay. Do you like cities or remote places better?
Oh, remote. Definitely.
Cities. I love cities, big cities.
I like a balance of both.
I think too. I think as well. Oklahoma is a good balance.
Yes.
Okay. Would you survive the zombie apocalypse?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm a prepper.
I'm hanging out with you.
Nope, not at all. Not at all.
How about you?
Maybe since who I'm married to.
Okay. She's like, thanks to the husband.
They'll be at my house.
Right. Do you have a favorite type of exercise?
Oh, I love hot works. Give me the hot 130 degree
Yes.
sauna.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
I love lifting weights. Lifting itself is so
yes.
fun.
Okay.
Exercise is hard for me.
I hear
Walking
you.
on the treadmill.
Okay. I love it. I love it. We all have our own avenues. Which phone app do you use the most?
Facebook.
Okay.
My camera.
Show me.
Your camera? Okay.
Facebook.
Nice. Okay. Do you prefer cooking dinner or going out? I feel like this is a...
Ooh, I love cooking my family a meal.
Okay.
I'm a cooking dinner at home.
Wow. Okay.
Take me out.
I'm saying, me too. You and I both. Okay. Are you good at solving puzzles?
No.
No.
I love anything puzzles. Legos are my favorite thing. So yes.
Legos.
No? Okay. Last question. If you could jump into a pool of anything, what would it be full of?
I don't know why Jello came first.
I was
that's
gonna say
horrible.
Jello. I
Jello
was gonna
for
say
you?
Jello too.
What color Jello is the question?
Red.
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 Okay.
Yes.
Red.
You
Red.
guys
Only
are gonna
red.
dye your skin forever. How about you?
I only know this because of my son watching YouTube videos. Those Orbeez.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
See, we didn't think about that part. Well, great job. That was just a little fun game just to get to know you guys a little bit better. I know now that if I'm ever in the zombie apocalypse, we're going to Nicole's house. Now, before we wrap up today's podcast, I do want to ask once again, for those that are considering this pageant, words of encouragement just to those young women.
I would say, as much as it does seem scary, the best thing you can do is just put your foot in there, because you're going to be surrounded by so many people who are going to encourage you and want to see you succeed. These two women and Lori are some of the most encouraging women, and having that board of just powerful, strong women and business leaders in our community is so special, because we don't see that often, and seeing 3 powerful, strong women and people that I can look up to as mentors are so special. So please just do it. I can't say it enough. Just do it, do it, do it.
Just do it. Yes. I know for me, I'll never forget the numerous amount of opportunities I was provided just by really pouring in and really just getting involved. This is an opportunity that not a lot of young women are provided, to just be a part and be a brand ambassador for such an amazing chamber of commerce here in Broken Arrow. So do not let the private interviews or the pageant dresses make you scared whatsoever. I know we didn't talk about it a lot earlier on, but this is not a swimwear pageant. This is not a talent pageant. It's simply just the people wanting to know your heart for your community. Yes. And simply from there, you can win and have all these amazing opportunities. Yes. If you could, Jamie, just go over the dates again for registration and your application and the actual date of the pageant.
Okay, so the main thing to remember is the pageant is going to be on the 29th of February. We will do your full interview that day with the private judges. It's a 6-minute interview. We will also do that evening at 7 o'clock will be the on-stage pageant itself in front of the judges, and you'll get asked one question, and then it's where you kind of get a show off to all of your friends and family. We have it at the chamber in the ballroom. It's kind of fun. It's a great experience. And then the 18th is when,
The 18th is parent meetings.
Okay, sorry. Yes, the 18th, which is a Sunday, we are going to have a parent meeting at 2 o'clock. So it allows you to get all the information. This year, it's going to allow you to, if you are not sure about doing the pageant, you've got that opportunity to pull out. But we're probably going to talk to you
I was going to say, it would
You're
fail.
gonna
It'd
do
be a
it.
fail.
You're going to leave that day and be like, yes, this is what
for
I want
me,
to do.
yes.
And you're probably going to leave being like, I'm going to call a friend and have a friend do it with me, because
Yes.
it's just such a fun experience. So those are the two things to remember.
Yes, just honing on what Sloan said earlier. Just do it.
it.
Just do it. I have no regret. Not a bone in my body wishes I didn't do that. I literally just, even today, I was able to connect with Lori the other day and just talk about some of the accomplishments I've made. And even prior to recording the podcast, you guys were even wanting to know my endeavors and what I've been interested in recently. And so this is just an experience that you don't want to miss out on. Sloan, any last words?
Any last words? Again, I'm going to say it one more time. Just do it. Please, please, please. You won't regret it. Again, it's so many women that you're just going to be surrounded by and people that are just going to encourage you to follow your passions and follow your dreams. And they're going to do everything they possibly can in the world to make those dreams come true. And so I think that that's just so special.
And you're doing it for so many other little girls that are looking up to you. My girls look up to both of you every time they see y'all. And so y'all are impacting other people too.
Yes,
So.
that's amazing. Well, I want to thank you guys for joining me today on the Into the Jungle podcast. If you guys want more information concerning Miss Rooster Days, you can head over to the website and or head over to the Facebook or Instagram page. They keep those pages updated, I promise you. Well, Sloan, you'll look forward to seeing some people that are watching the podcast at the pageant upcoming this next month, February 29th, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, perfect. We'll see you guys next time on the Into the Jungle podcast.